Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing some more with this paper which is called Fall Festival from Minte. A couple of weeks ago I did these little vignettes with some of the fussy cut images from the paper, and I wanted to show you how I use these papers which have got really big images on them. They're made for scrapbooking, but I use them in my junk journals. So I've got 4 of them, and I'm going to show you and put them together on how I would use this in a junk journal. I've got that one, that one, that one, and this one. So they're the extras, and I've already cut down the ones that I'm going to use today. So the size of my journal is going to be 6 inches wide by 8 inches tall. I find that that's a good size for me, and I've taken the one that was the tree here. I've sliced it across horizontally. Now it's not quite in the center, one's a tiny bit bigger than the other, but I really took the tree as a guide as to where I was going to cut it, and I thought that that was the best place to cut it. Now these are able to be turned up, so I think this is actually the top and this one is the bottom, but still you don't have to use them like that. So I will use these in this journal just simply by folding them over. Now I might fold one this way, and then I'll fold this one this way, and I'm going to do some stuff on top of them in a moment. This is this one here, which has got the seat on it, and then it's got the top part here, and I've cut the top part off. So this is actually 8 inches tall by 6 inches. And I think that this makes a nice page then, even without the top, and even though I've cut through here. So that's the outside of it. I don't mind that I've cut this sign here that says Hello Fall. We don't really call it that here in Australia, we call it autumn. So the word fall, I can sort of, hide that or get rid of it as I go through. But this will be the size of the page, and I'm going to show you how I use this piece. And this one here is a similar thing. It's a full image with the puppy dog and everything under the table. And this one has got the top of it, which must have been this way, cut off it. Oh yes, because there's the crack in the wall. I had it upside down. Again, it's got this in here, so I'm going to show you how I cover that up, but that's how I cut that. Again, this is 6 by 8, and it just happened that when I cut it in half, when I scored it in half, that was sort of almost down the leg of the table. So it's actually going to work out quite well when you look at it that way, and then you look at this side of it. And the final one I'll be working with today is the one that's the blackboard. Now I really liked this piece here, and I didn't want to score it 6 inches from the edge, because that would have scored it through here. Instead of that, I cut a small piece off just to the edge of the image, and then I scored it at the 6 inch mark. So now you've got quite a nice image on this side of the page, and this one here I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that. And also I had to cut the top of the board off. Obviously it's 8 inches, unless I made my journal 10 inches high, which is a pretty tall journal, then I had to cut that off. So now let's go through and you'll see how I use these pages, not just cutting them up, but actually putting them, getting them ready to put in a journal so that they make more sense once they're in there. So this is the top of the blackboard. We'll start with this, and how I'm going to use this is to fussy cut around these flowers and then around the edge of the blackboard. When I'm fussy cutting, I do cut more off than perhaps, I don't know, maybe other people don't do that, but it's really difficult to cut all these tiny little leaves and things. You can see there that I've just left them on the piece, and I'll ink that up and it'll look fine. I'll also cut through this piece here, which is the hanging part of the frame or the blackboard, and then just finish up around the edge. Now that's got some pumpkins on it. I'm not going to throw that away because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 pumpkins that I'll be able to use. So I'll get some use out of all of the paper because I don't like wasting things. With this piece here, I'm going to put it on the back side of this. The reason being is that this is shorter than the piece on the other side. So I know that this will still be inside the journal. And I will put it down and leave a little bit, that little bit of flower sticking out on that side. And I'll make this into a little tuck spot. That just means a bit of glue, but not where the flowers are. And then stick it on to the page. But with this one, I will also round this corner down here around the edge of the blackboard. So it gets incorporated into the page a bit more because I've rounded this edge. And then I just wanted to make sure that gets stuck all the way to the top. And I think that I've kind of missed that actually when I put it on. I'll put a bit more glue down on here. And now I have got a little spot in here where I can tuck something. I mean, I'm not going to tuck that, but that's what you could do, is pop something into that little pocket. And on the back is also pumpkins. I might put one of my little vignettes on the back here actually. I think that would be quite cute. So I've got this piece here, or this piece. I think I'm going to put this piece down, and I can also make this into a pocket. So I'll put glue down around the edges, making sure I'm getting them where they need to be stuck down. So down on this side, and I don't know, yeah, I guess I'll do it up here as well. So it's going to be a reasonable sized pocket that I'll get in there, and I'll be able to find something to put in it. And I'll just put it over to the right hand side of the paper a tiny bit. So with this one here, I was going to make another pocket to go on the bottom here. So what I'll do is I will cut this around, as I don't really want that in. So I'm just going to fussy cut around the edge of it. So I've cut all of that off. And I'll see I may have to trim a little bit more because it doesn't quite fit on the paper. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim this little bit off. And I wanted to put something else on the page as well. So I've got out some page from my Reader's Digest book, and I'll just look how I might be able to do this. Because this paper, this stripy paper is nice, but it's a bit plain. So I need to tart it up a bit. And I also have some of this paper, which is the plain sort of door paper, but I like this floral on the back of it, I think. I wonder how many of you actually use scrapbooking paper as part of your journals. I think that'd be interesting to know, because I don't know if I know people use a lot of digitals, and I do use digitals as well, but I think it's just whether that's just me who uses scrapbooking paper. Now I quite like that because I've got this sticking out. I don't have much of this. This will still be a pocket. I intend to keep it as a pocket. And then we'll put it all down now. So I'll just see if I can, I've got to put that like along there, that glue. And then the glue will go around here and up here and up the top. I need to cut this off. and this will go on here like this. Now I'm going to have a pocket in here when that dries, of course. I do need to put some glue on this piece. I can feel that needs a bit more glue on it there, just on this piece here. Let's grab some, got a couple of journaling things here that I've pulled out. They're not necessarily what I'll put in here because they're probably the wrong colour, but if I put a pocket up there and then a pocket in there, I might actually slightly take this up again because I don't want that pocket to go all the way in. I'm going to put some glue on the side of this one as well, and I'll just redo the glue on here. So I'm going to start by trimming it off along the fall here. And see if that's not too wide. It's a little bit too wide, so I actually take some off this side. And now I'll trim around this part here. Now this piece is not as tall as the book. It's only 6 1/4, so I can afford to drop this piece down to here and have it like this. And then on this side, I just want to check how long that'll be now. And that's my 8 inches, so I'll be able to put something. I just have to make sure it's high enough that I actually get a pocket out of it. Maybe it'll go up a little bit more, like there. Okay, and put some along here, and then up the sides. That way I know that when I put it down, the glue will be in the correct spot. And then on this side, I've got this hanging down, so I will put something on there so that it's correct. Now, I don't think I inked that edge, so I have to do that. I want to make a pocket, so let's say that it's there. And how I'm going to cut this is to run a line across around here so that it will match up as best I can. And down there, and then cut this out. So now again I'll put some glue down on here because that'll be the bottom of the pocket around here, and then up the sides. And then because I've got that little bit sticking out, I'm going to cut it off so that it matches a bit better at the back, and ink it so that you can't really see it. And then on this side, I think I'll cut some of the pumpkins out that I was looking at before. Here they are. So I'll just fussy cut some pumpkins, and then I'll put them down in this corner to form a tuck spot. And put these pumpkins down. I'm wondering if I can fussy cut something else and also put down there, because I've got plenty of sheets to fussy cut. Let's see. Maybe something like this to have the pumpkins sort of on the bottom of the blackboard, like that. Yep, that's it. So first of all, the blackboard. Now I'm going to make this a side tuck. So I'll put the blackboard down just on 3 sides and slide it under here about where it was, and then put the pumpkins down. And then I've got a little tuck spot in here on this side. I think with this one, I'm going to put these two together, because they're both a little bit bland, and I thought that then I could put something in between them, like have a pocket in here. And let's just mark up the center of this one. Let's try that again. So this one's 8 inches, and I will put a notch at the 4-inch mark. Let's grab my, oh, this is a little one, but it'll do. Just so it's plainly identifiable as a pocket. And then let's get some glue. So when you put the journal together, this one will actually sit on this side, and this will be a turnover. So this page is going to sit on the one side of the journal. Now I think I'm going to do something similar with some of these pages, the smaller ones. Although I do really love both those papers, so I probably won't. But I can do something with this. I thought I'd put this down and I'd have it as a page that can turn, plus a pocket in here. So pretty simple. Let's get it down. So I made this vignette and I'm going to turn it into a pocket. I'm not going to cut these pages off, I don't want to do that, but I am going to stick it down. Just a little bit of glue on there should be fine, and then it'll become a pocket here. To finish this off, I've just made some little journaling spots. I've used the sheet of paper that has all these little cards on it, and I've cut them in sets of 2. Then I've just torn some coffee dyed paper and created them. So I've sewed them down the center, 2 little bits of paper in each one, and they fold back up again, and they create these cute little journaling spots that you can use. So I'll pop this one in here, fits really well. Then I've got one here. When I finish the rest of the journal, I may end up moving these. I'm just wanting to put them in for now. Now that won't fit in there, so I will need something else for that. One will fit down here, and then I've got one here. Just pop them out of the way, and then I'll know that they're fine. Now back here where that one wouldn't fit, I think I can make one of the little sets fit if I cut it down. Now that's a little bit tight, so what I'll do is I'll cut around it, cut the little blackboard out. But I will go around that leaf, and that goes in there, so that's good. And I've still got this one on the back. I won't cut that off, I'll leave that as is. I'll pop that in there like that. See where else I need something to put in. I've got a little pocket in here. I don't know how big that is. It's quite small really. But I think if I cut this down, it should fit. Yeah, and then there'd be journaling space on here. So I'll put that aside because I need to cut it down. I'll put this one in here. And I bought an extra sheet of these. There's already, I think, 2 in the packet, and I bought an extra sheet because I really like that they're little. You can tuck them in places, and usually on the back there'll be a picture on the front, and then there'll be somewhere to journal on the back, which I think is really good, or somewhere to add a little picture or whatever it is that you want to do. I just want to check, and I need to create 2 pockets for here as well. So maybe I'll create one of those by using this one. I want something that's going to look nice. Just have to see where it cuts here. Tuck that up in there so you can see it. And then one for in here. And I'll put this one in here. But again, I think I'm going to cut round the blackboard again. It looks a bit weird with that edging on it, and it looks much nicer when you trim around it, so that when I come to the end, I know even if I move things around, I've got something for every pocket. And that's all. There's only just that long one to go, which I'll go and cut, and then I'm done for this part of the journal. I will come back another day and do some more on these beautiful papers from Minte. So until next time, thanks very much for joining me. Cheers.